Good morning, everyone. I've just made a nice coffee. If you care to know, it's Starbucks caramel flavoured coffee. There's no syrup in it, it's just flavoured pods. So maybe a little bit healthier than adding all the syrup. I do have it, but I thought I'd try this. It's quite nice, not very strong of caramel or anything. My voice might sound really weird because I've not long got up. I literally woke up this morning, went into the kitchen. I went into the kitchen to make this coffee so I could do my morning pages. And typical ADHD, I saw one thing that needed doing. Just, it would have been very quick, 2 seconds, but my brain goes, but in order to do that, I should do this thing first. And in order to do that, I should do this thing first. And then this thing first, and then this thing first. And then before I know it, I've been in there for half an hour just cleaning the place. So I turned around and I've accidentally cleaned my kitchen. So yeah, and I was like, hang on, I actually came here to make a coffee so I could do my morning pages. Let me get back onto that. So made the coffee. I've just come upstairs to have, because Jordan's still asleep, so I wanted to have a bit of space to just quickly chat with you and do my next set of morning pages. You'll have seen week 1 last week and how that went. So week 2 is, I'll talk more in detail about it soon. When I'm looking more presentable, and 2, obviously I'll explain what the focus is for the week and things like that. I'm looking forward to getting deeper into things. Obviously the first week of something is quite, it's all new, so you're just kind of touching the surface of stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting deeper into the topics and things like that. But yeah, I think this journey could be good. So I won't keep rambling, as I say, because I'll go more in depth and explain the week going forward in a bit. So let me just get onto my morning pages and sort myself out. this order and I'm just shaking. What do you think? Not that this is the shot, the previous shot was better for this, but I have moved things around yet again. I do this a lot, but I wanted to have more of a contained space for everything, so I've kind of moved both of my desk and my table together to kind of form an L shape. I actually used to have an L-shaped desk, but I got rid of it because it was only a cheap one and it was getting like all broken down and stuff, so I ended up getting rid of it, and I've had these ever since. To be honest, I do actually want to replace this desk, but for now this works. I've got this like contained space. I've moved the prints around a little bit because I've got the my computer screen here now, so obviously they would have got blocked. But yeah, I've had a bit of a move around, so I've sort of refreshed my space in a way. I've still kept all of the stock where it is behind you. It's still all on the shelves. All I've done there is just move the shelves over a little bit. You will have seen me just packing Alex's order, second order. Thank you so much, Alex. Also, congratulations on getting into your dream course. I'm very, very happy for you. So now I've done that, that was like my only order for the week. I don't have to pack anything else, so I can get back to my artist way tasks. And I'm thinking of moving on to the first task, which was, so it's called Where Does Your Time Go? And the task is to list your 5 major activities this week. How much time did you give to each one? Which were what you wanted to do and which was shoulds? How much of your time is spent helping others and ignoring your own desires? Have any of your blocked friends triggered doubts in you? Take a sheet of paper, draw a circle. Inside that circle, place topics you need to protect. Place the names of those you find to be supportive. Outside the circle, place the names of those you must be self-protective around. Place this safety map near where you write your morning pages. Use this map to support your autonomy. Add names to the inner and outer spheres as appropriate. So that's a nice, quick and easy one, really. So I'll do that one first, and then the next one that I'll do straight after is list 20 things you enjoy doing. So that could be, I mean, she's given examples like making soup, riding a horse, going for a run, reading and writing poetry, riding a bike, baking pies, that sort of thing. So I will do that one next. It does also say that you should keep the list because it will be a resource for future artist dates. If ever you don't know what to do, you can refer back to it. So those 2 tasks I'm going to do now. Just before I get into those, I thought obviously I would explain the focus for week 2. Obviously week 1 was giving yourself a sense of freedom, so allowing yourself to recognize your inner sensor and be more affirmative in yourself and allowing yourself to be more creative, basically opening the doors. Week 2 is basically about what's around you and what is supporting that journey and what's making it harder. And this is why it's called recovering a sense of self-identity. So she talks about things like poisonous playmates, so basically friends or loved ones even that you keep around you that perhaps are blocked themselves as well, but they're basically people that keep you stuck. So they reinforce your own ideas and their own ideas of what creativity is and what it means for you and things like that. They are more likely to collect sympathy from you or wallow in their own self-pity and expect you to join them. And obviously this isn't going to help your recovery, so the idea is that you need to recognize those behaviors and perhaps distance yourself from these people. You don't have to cut them out of your life if you don't want to, but just establish boundaries with them more. And if that's something that you find hard to do, or if it's something that they don't respect, then that's when perhaps you should start keeping a distance between you and them, keeping them at arm's length, spending less time with them. She also goes into a concept called crazy makers. And these are the kind of people that they're almost there to make your life harder, almost. They basically want to take over your whole life. They want your life to be a part of their life. So The way that she describes them, I consider them basically narcissists. They expect everyone in their life to be the supporting cast of whatever they're doing. So they're the prima donna, they're the main role, they're the director, and everyone else is just the crew, and they expect everybody to just drop everything at a moment's notice if it's to serve them. And of course the exercises that she wants you to do and what she wants you to think about are, again, recognizing their behaviors. So identifying who in your life could be considered a crazy maker, identifying their behaviors and noticing them, and then obviously creating tools within yourself to protect yourself from those behaviors. So for example, if you have an important exam the next day and you tell this person that you'll be going to bed early because you want to get plenty of sleep so that you are in the best form to do your exam, they would call you at 3 a.m. with something not really important, or at least not important enough to disturb you. It would be something probably trivial, but they would go out their way to call you at that time just to kind of sabotage you, because they're a crazy maker. They only concern themselves with themselves. They don't really care how damaging their behaviours would be to the people around them. They just care about the end result that they want. She moves on to, obviously that's about the people around us. She moves back onto our own behaviours and what we do. So for example, with crazy makers, she says that we keep them around, again, as a form of self-sabotage, especially when we know that these people are no good for us. We'll keep them around because they are another way for us to basically procrastinate. We know that when it's time to be creative and it's time to explore our creativity, they will get involved and put barriers in the way and put blockages in the way. We expect that from them. So it's just another way for us to self-sabotage, and rather than just give ourselves the blocks and say, you know, I don't deserve to do this thing, we'll let them do the dirty work, essentially. So while we need to, obviously, while it's important to identify what they do and the behaviours that they do, it's important to recognise in ourselves that we are also part of the problem, and it's our responsibility to clear all of the blockages in our life, or at least all the ones we can, to make the path to creative freedom as smooth sailing as possible. Another thing that we'll tend to do is skepticism, and she has a whole sort of section on this. So for example, the example that she gives is, we start writing morning pages and then we say to ourselves, okay, I've started writing morning pages and now I have a clearer head when I'm going about my day, whereas before I would just constantly be thinking about different stuff. Now I find that I don't think about the things that worry me so often. But that's just a coincidence. That something else has happened that's done that. That's not all down to morning pages. That's skepticism. And she says that it's common that this will come up during our recovery because we're still scared, we're still sitting in fear. So we kind of have to give a logic that makes sense to us to the things that are happening to us during the recovery process. Now, alongside skepticism, she also mentions attention. And I am terrible for this one. So she basically explains that it's like living in a fantasy. So rather than sitting ourselves down and doing the work to achieve our dreams, we'll just sort of daydream and fantasize about what we could have, what we should have, what we want to be doing, because it's a lot easier just to think about it in our heads and fantasize than actually sit down and do the nitty-gritty work into achieving that. I am a terrible committer of this, let's say. I'm a huge maladaptive daydreamer. I daydream about how I want things to look and how I would love my life to look all the time. And another example is, I will have an idea. I'll get an idea in my head of a really great art piece or a really great project that I'd love to work on. instead of sitting myself down and working out how to make that project happen, I'll just keep fantasizing about it, and I'll just imagine how I'd love it to look and how the finished product would come out and things like that. Because if I never start, I can't fail, which is, again, it's just us sitting in fear and using fear to keep ourselves blocked. So obviously last week she asked us to look at our negative core beliefs and then create affirmations to work against those and to help heal us. This week she gives us what she calls rules of the road. So they're basically rules that we need to set for ourselves in order to be the artist that we want to be. So for example, she says, in order to be an artist, I must show up at the page, use the page to rest, to dream, to try. So that's basically the focus for week 2. And now I'm going to get started on these 2 first tasks and see how I get on. Ta-da! I've just been to get a haircut after how many years? I was in desperate need of one, as I'm sure you've seen on the previous vlogs. What do you think? Do you like it? I got a little bit of a curtain fringe cut back in, if you can see. But yeah, it feels so much fresher like this. I could, every time I was brushing it before, I could feel the crunch. So I'm glad to get all those like fried dead bits off the end. But yeah, what do you think? It's not as long as before, obviously, because I've had a fair bit cut off, but yeah. Ta-da!
Is there anything I need to do? This is like a proper drivers.
Good morning, my beautiful people. It is Tuesday, so today is my artist date. I'll show you what I've decided to wear. This is the outfit for today. This is the fit. But yeah, I'm gonna go see some cats.
I'm on the way back to clean it up, yeah? I'll be back tomorrow, I'll clean it up. She called me.
Hello again, guys. So my artist date was a complete write-off, bit of a shambles. To elaborate, 1 second. That's nice tea actually. So basically I turned up to the kitty cafe, cat cafe, and saw a note at the front desk saying that due to supplier issues they were missing a lot of ingredients, and it was a long list actually. One of the things that they were missing was clotted cream. Obviously some would argue a vital part of cream tea. Never mind. Oh, another thing was decaf Earl Grey. That was what I was going to order. I was going to have my cream tea, clotted cream being part of that, and my decaf Earl Grey to go with it. And so 2 of the things I needed for cream tea they didn't have in. I asked what did they have, like alternative cream for the cream tea. They said basically they can do it with butter. I thought, you know what, I've come all this way, I've been looking forward to this, I've planned it, that's fine. I can drink a different tea or even have a coffee and I'll have butter with my scone. It's fine, I can live with it. But then as she was checking me in, she said, okay, so there's the welfare fee will be X amount. And I was like, oh, welfare fee. And she said, yeah, it's like an entry fee. Nowhere on the website, at least that I saw, bearing in mind I've gone through the website to book a table and had a confirmation email and everything, did it say that there'd be an entry fee? Because I could have prepared for that. Like, I understand why they charge it, and that's, you know, it explains why they call it a welfare fee, but nowhere did it say that that would be a part of the booking. I mean, call me cheap, but to be honest, the welfare fee, I'm pretty sure it was like even more than the cost of the cream tea. So I would have had to have paid double what I was eating, and then on top of that they didn't even have 2 of the parts of what I wanted. So they didn't have 2 of the main ingredients of the food that I wanted anyway. It just didn't seem worth it. I thought, no, this isn't what I was planning, this isn't what I wanted at all. So I just said, you know what, is it okay if I just cancel? And they said, yeah, that's fine. So I cancelled, but then that obviously left me with no artist date. So I decided to look for somewhere else that does cream tea. After walking around for probably about 10-15 minutes, in the end I saw Muffin Break, and they had like fruit scones, the mountain type that you will have seen in the clip. And I haven't had those style scones in years. So I thought, you know what, that's fine, I'll go here. So I go into Muffin Break and I ask, your scones, do they come with cream and jam? I don't think the barista really understood me because she was like staring at me blankly at first, and I was like, the scones at the back, do they come with cream and jam to put on them? And she said, oh yeah. I was like, okay, brilliant, can I take a fruit scone and a hazelnut latte? So she charges me, I pay and everything. I put my stuff down on a chair just outside. I went back to the till to get my food, and she warmed the scone through, brilliant. She put a little pot of jam next to it, excellent. And then she gets squirty cream out of a can and squirts it right on the side of the scone in a big heap. I was like, oh. It comes with squirty cream. Okay. Bearing in mind I'd already paid, ordered, she'd already laid it out, I wasn't going to send it back. Like, I do not have the confidence to do that, but it was not what I wanted at all, and I thought, I've already ordered and paid for it now. It was more than I even wanted to pay, but I just did it because I just wanted to get my artist date done. And then, I don't know, at that point I'd just kind of given up. I was like, today's a write-off. So I just got my order, sat down, and I tried to start sketching out some ideas for like Christmas stuff. Since I've already drawn my autumn designs, I thought I can't draw cats now, I might as well brainstorm some ideas for Christmas products. But I just couldn't settle after that. The atmosphere wasn't right because I was right in the centre of like a not right in the centre, but the muffin break was kind of in the middle of like a shopping, it's a shopping centre that it's inside, so there was people walking around and looking. Obviously I had my camera set up so they were looking even more. It was really like noisy, but not in a good way. You know, it's the 6 weeks holiday, so it's full of children and everything screaming, and just couldn't sell in the end. And then because of that, I was getting a bit of art block. I couldn't get any ideas. The drawings, as you will have seen, weren't coming out how I wanted because I was trying to rush them because I was just uncomfortable. And it was just a complete mess. To top it all off, I thought, you know what, I'm not comfortable here. I'm just gonna finish my food and leave. I'm just gonna head back home. I know what I'll do. I'll have my own cream tea. So I headed to M&S because I know they do nice cream, like parts for cream tea. They do nice bakery and things. Got a scone. I even got, I don't know how you say it, focaccia, the fancy bread. Anyway, I even got one of those. And the cream was like, it was kind of expensive, so I didn't want to buy it from there because I was thinking, I'm sure I can get cream cheaper elsewhere. So I headed to Tesco. They were trying to charge £4 a pot. I was like, no, I'm not paying that. Headed to Sainsbury's. They didn't have any. Headed to the Co-op. They didn't have any. So I just got on the train and thought, I'll go to Lidl. That will be nice and cheap. I went to Lidl. They didn't have any. So in the end, I had to walk all the way to the Tesco by my house, and they did have some, and it was £2.75, and I was just like, I'll just get that. So it's just been a complete and utter shambles. Somebody clearly didn't want me to have this artist date. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going through a bit of bad luck because something really nice is going to happen soon. I don't know. That's why there's no footage of cats, no footage of me in the cafe, because I didn't stay. But now I'm going to eat my own cream tea at home with really nice tea. Here's my Rhoda's cream. Here's half of the bread that I bought. It's cheese and onion. And since I needed to get my own jam, I got apricot jam because I thought, why not change it up? So I'm going to enjoy that. And then after, my friends want to play Baldur's Gate 3 with me. So I'm going to do that and have a day off. Okay, maybe my look's not entirely bad because clearly I've just missed this rain, this really heavy rain, and I don't have an umbrella, or didn't have an umbrella when I was out. So maybe my look's not entirely bad. Just before I jump on Baldur's Gate, I wanted to show you, I ordered from another small business called Escaloo. I watched her channel on YouTube, and her stuff is just so beautiful. I had to place an order, so I thought I'd unbox it for you on here. I'm trying to salvage the sticker that she's put on the back. I want to keep it. It's so cute. No, I've ripped it. It's too late. Look at this please do not bend sticker. It's so cute. Yee. Her shop is based in the Netherlands, so only next door. So I ordered this red panda print. How beautiful is that? That is going to go on my wall. And then I also ordered a sticker sheet, and I thought I could use it in my morning pages journal. So here is the thank you card. It does have a promo code on the back, so thank you for that. And oh, there is a sticker that says she's packaged it on YouTube. Awesome. I'll definitely look out for that when I watch her next vlog. She's wrote, "Hi Bex, thank you for your order. I hope you enjoy this Lutian stickers, QTN stickers. Greetings from Holland, Jessica." The thank you card is like premium. Like, I don't even know what this is called, but it's like, it's not glossy, it's got some kind of lamination on it. It's really good, like premium stuff. So she's giving me some freebies, and they're so cute. One of them is a cat bum. Also, excuse my gross nails, I'm sorry. I need to do them. Look at this cute bear. And then a hamster. I think it's a hamster. He's so cute. I love them. And then these are my stickers. Aren't they gorgeous? They're so beautiful. I love them. And I can't wait to put them in my journal. Oh, so she's added like a little information card, but look at that as well. Look at that gorgeous print. That's going on the wall as well. That's what I ordered from Escaloo. That's what I got. Thank you, Jessica. Her art is just so gorgeous. I had to get something. But yeah, I thought I would share that on the channel. I'll put a link to her shop in the description if you want to check out her stuff and get something for yourself. I would recommend it because they are such good quality and they're gorgeous, as you've seen. But yeah, I'm gonna head on to Baldur's Gate 3 now, so I will see you in the next clip. Hello, it is Wednesday now. Wednesday today. I won't be filming anything today, pretty much, at least until the evening, because I'm going to see my grandmother while I've got the day off, because she lives, now we've moved in like the next borough, the next town over. She's not so close to me anymore, she's not so local. So I have to like make time to go and see her. There might not be that much footage today, but I thought I'd at least update you what I'm up to. I've just finished my morning pages, so I'm going to go and have a shower and get dressed and head out and go and see her. Okay, it is time for week 2 check-in. So, I've already written it down in my morning pages book as I'm supposed to. So now I will just but go through my thoughts for week 2. First thing I will say is I did slack off a lot this week. I did my written tasks because obviously they're a lot easier to do because you just kind of need to take 10-15 minutes just to sit down and write things out. So the written tasks were easy. So for example, the first task was time sinks. So what you had to think back and recognise what you spend the most time on. List, I think it's the 5 top things that you spend the most time on. You're supposed to put how much time you spend next to those, and then basically think about which ones are things that you feel you should do or have to do, and then which ones you actually wanted to do. For me, I put work. Obviously my day job is probably the thing I spend the most time at. Video editing, so making YouTube videos. Household admin, so that's things like grocery shopping, sorting the bills and finances, emailing any of our like suppliers if anything's wrong with those, any jobs that need doing around the house, that sort of stuff. Watching vlogs / YouTube videos and scrolling Instagram. So the last 2, watching vlogs and YouTube videos, are put as want because obviously I don't have to do those at all. They're just things that I wanted to do or that I did for enjoyment. Work is obviously a should. I'm really happy to have a job. I'm happy to be able to earn money, but if I didn't have to do that, I wouldn't be there like most people. So it is definitely a should. Video editing, I did actually put it as a should because although I really enjoy creating YouTube videos and doing my vlogs, the editing part is obviously the less fun part of that. And because I'm trying to keep a consistent schedule and make sure that I upload every Friday, I can't just sort of do video editing as and when I'm in the mood or when I feel like it or stuff like that. I do kind of keep myself to somewhat of a schedule and make sure that it's all done ready for each Friday upload to go up. So although I do enjoy it, I did list it as a should because it's something that I do make myself do. I don't just do it as and when I want to and feel like it. Household admin is obviously a should. It's not fun. I don't really know anybody that truly enjoys doing all the like admin stuff for their house. It's just something that you have to do. So that's what I put as my time sinks. The next task was basically drawing a circle, putting all the names of people and things that so in the middle of the circle that are supportive, and then on the outside of the circle things that aren't so supportive or create blockages or put strains on you when it comes to your creativity. The next task was to list 20 hobbies that you enjoy, and then you were supposed to choose 2 of them to do for that week. It didn't have to be like the whole hobby. You just basically had to dedicate some time to that thing. So for example, if you put I love to shoot vlogs or record videos, create films, that kind of thing, you could commit to buying a roll of film and shooting 1 scene. Or I suppose film isn't really relevant anymore, so for example, you could set aside half an hour out of one of the days, one of your evenings, to shoot 1 scene. It could be a really small goal, it didn't have to be anything massive, but you just had to commit to at least 1 small goal for each. I highlighted baking and designing graphics. The designing graphics I did because I needed to anyway for my autumn update. So that I managed to do. The baking I didn't actually manage to get round to. I contemplated going and buying just a mix today, rather than buying all the fresh ingredients, so like flour, eggs, all that sort of stuff, just buying like a mix, and just doing like a mix, because that's still fun, that's still baking in a way, and at least it's something less like constraining. But I might just leave that for next week now. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it and have a think. But that's 2 of the writing parts that I got to do, and the physical parts I feel like I really slacked with, and I think it's just because I just had loads of different things to do this week, because I had the week off. Lots of jobs and things that I've been wanting to do with my life I've left to do this week, and it's just meant that I couldn't dedicate the same amount of time that I would want to on my recovery tasks. So I'm not proud of myself for that. I do feel a little bit bad that I should have been a lot more dedicated, but I still did a lot. I still did all my morning pages. I only missed 1 day, and that was the Saturday, and that's because, long story short, I was rushing around in the morning because, again, I was on time constraints for that day because I had plans with people, and I genuinely just forgot to do them, and it wasn't until the evening that I remembered. And by that point I thought there's not really any point, because they're morning pages. The idea is that you do them sort of first thing, or at least in the morning sometime, to get things out of your head ready for the day. So I didn't see any point and I left it. But I still did 6 out of 7, so I'm still proud of myself for that. I did my artist date, sort of, as you will have seen. I didn't really get a date out of it because I ended up coming home, but I still came home and had my little cream tea, makeshift cream tea, and I still sketched out a few things. So although it was a flop, I at least attempted it and I still tried, so still proud of myself for that, and making sure that I dedicated some time to myself with the artist date. In this check-in, she asks you to describe your morning pages. So she doesn't want you to read them, she just wants you to have a quick look back and describe how they've been, describe whether they're helping you, things like that. Again, same as last week, I don't feel the benefit so much just yet with them, but it's still early days. You know, this is a 12-week course and I'm only on the 2nd week. I've still got 10 more weeks to do, so I feel like I'm probably not going to feel the benefit massively until I'm more towards halfway through. So I'm still giving it time, but obviously, just being honest, it is still early, so I'm still waiting for the big epiphanies when it comes to morning pages. That's if it's even going to be something like that. It's probably more likely that it will be a slow, minor change process, and I'll just kind of realise later on, after it's a certain amount of time has passed, that it'll kind of click to me and I'll think, oh, actually, yeah, you know, I feel the difference in this thing or that thing, rather than it being this big moment. What I did notice about them is that they turned very much into a diary. I was describing the tasks that I had to do for that day and things that happened the previous day. And rather than doing deep dives into my feelings or the tasks that I was doing when it came to the artist's way. I was very much just talking about everyday life and what was on my mind in that instance and all the things that I had to do. So I think as time goes on and we deep dive a bit more, then perhaps my morning pages will shift to match that, and they will be more about my like consciousness and my feelings and things like that. In terms of art, I'm still blocked. I'm still struggling for ideas, or at least concrete ideas that I think, yeah, that would be great. But my confidence is increasing, which is good. I'm feeling a lot better about my art and the art that I'm making. So while my ideas aren't necessarily that great, I at least feel better about what I'm making, and I'm not wanting to scrap everything all the time. But yeah, that was week 2. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this nice and short, to the point and brief, so I don't start rambling. But moving on to week 3, the title is Recovering a Sense of Power. Yeah, I'll do my best. We'll see how it goes, and I hope you'll stick around to watch it. But that's all for week 2. That's all for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you're following along with the Artist's Way, or if you're thinking about joining the journey, do let me know in the comments, because I really do love to hear from you guys. Every time I see a comment from anyone, I get so excited and happy, so thank you for those. And I hope you'll come along again for next week. In the meantime, have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. I love you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye.